Hi guys, welcome to day 21. I am Bart Robley and I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video series that I'm doing. Today what I want to do is I want to expand upon what I talked about yesterday, and then also it kind of carries into a video I did last week in regards to reading music. And what I want to talk about is listening to a song and really absorbing the song and knowing what's going on within the tune, okay? Young players, I think a lot of times, again, and I'm talking to young players who are just starting out and thinking, man, I really want to be a professional musician, and I don't know quite where to start. And I'm covering a lot of things in this video series where it's, if you've been playing for a while and you're watching this, you know that some of the stuff is a no-brainer, but I remember when I was a kid, I wish I would have had somebody to tell me some of these things. So that's who I'm talking to here. So young drummers, and actually young musicians as a whole, I think we have to really learn to listen to music when we play it. Now, if you want to know what I mean by that, it's this. A few years ago, I went to a great drumming seminar put on by Vic Firth Drumsticks and hosted by the great Dom Famularo. Dom is considered to be the drumming ambassador to the world, right? And so he's putting on this great seminar. And one of the things he talked about was you have to teach your young students how to listen to music. Well, when he first said it, I was like, what is he talking about? How do you have to learn to listen to music, right? But then it kind of hit me a little bit later where I really understood what he meant by that. So now, fast forward all these years later, and I'm a clinician. I do clinics for Gretsch Drums and all my endorsers, Vic Firth, Sabian, and stuff like that. And what I do in my clinic is I give a breakdown of 5 songs that I've played with producer Michael Blum and the Sam Morrison Band, and I talk about what it went in to record these songs and what the parts are that I played in the song. Again, and I break down how to play, but also how to listen to the music. I think what we do a lot of times, we do ourselves a disservice. We sit down, drummers especially, well, all musicians actually, we sit down at the drums, we pick up our guitar, we pick up our bass, whatever. And when we go to learn a song, especially if it's a tune we've heard a bunch and a million times in our life, a big hit, we think, well, man, I know that song. I've heard it a million times. I'm just going to play along with it. You're kind of doing yourself a disservice because you're not really sitting down to learn the tune. Even if you've heard it a million times, you want to kind of sit down and maybe break down what the drummer or what the musician is playing in the tune. I remember years ago, out in Las Vegas, we were playing with this band called Yellow Brick Road. And Yellow Brick Road is probably one of the best bands I've ever seen in my entire life. They are just phenomenal. And they play like the best gigs in town. They travel all over the place. And the reason that they get those gigs and the reason that they do those gigs is because every one of the members in the band have broken down the songs. They've learned each part individually perfect. And then on top of all of that, they've gone in and tweaked all their tones so their instruments sound just like it does on the original recording. I think that's why they work so much and why they're such a great band. If you think about the great, sidemen of the world, you think like, again, if I'm talking about drummers, I'm talking about Greg Bissonette and Kenny Aronoff, and you're talking about these guys that play the best gigs in the world. They get those gigs because they've learned the songs perfectly. I really doubt that, like, let's say Greg Bissonette, for instance, who's one of my favorite drummers, when he got the gig planned for David Lee Roth 30-some years ago, I doubt he went into the audition and said something like, guys, all those Van Halen hits are really cool, but I think I'm going to come up with some better drum parts and play them differently. No, he had listened to the songs, he had studied the music, and he went in and played them perfect. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I have one of our songs here on my iPod from our latest album, from the Sam Morrison Band's latest album. That is one of our songs, it's one of our singles, a song called Rattlesnake Stew. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a little bit of the intro of the song, and I'm going to count it and show you what I mean by breaking the song down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, if you've been playing for a while, you know what I did. I just counted the intro to figure out what it is that was played on the record. It's an 8-bar intro, an 8-bar guitar intro with some drum hits and some big cymbal hits in there. and then after the 8 bar, on the 8th bar, I played a drum fill. The drums came in. I played a big, solid, driving 4 on the floor to push the heck out of the song. We went 4 more bars, and then the first verse comes in. Now again, let's take a listen again after that little breakdown that I gave you. Okay, now check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, big hit. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, there's a drum fill. 1, 2, now there's the drums driving. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, to another fill and into the verse. Okay, so again, I broke down the intro after kind of telling you what I did. Now, young drummers, what do I mean by a 4 on the floor? Well, what a 4 on the floor is just that, where I'm playing 4 quarter notes, 4 bass drum hits on the floor, 4 on the floor, right? Snare drums got the big heavy backbeat on 2 and 4, and in this case, I was playing really wushy open hi-hats, 8th notes there, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Anyway, that's kind of the little intro breakdown. And then you can go through the whole song and break down the verse and the chorus and the solos, and then figure out what the song form is. Now, without actually doing a complete breakdown of the song and doing it on video, because it would take way too long, the idea is that I can go in, I can listen to the song, whether it's one of my originals that I played on, or a cover tune that I may have to play or re-record for a re-record session, and really break down what it is that myself or another drummer played, and then recreate that. So young drummers, young musicians, I think it's so important to sit down and listen to the music away from your instrument, right? Maybe sit at a computer. When I sit down to learn a song, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even by my drum set. I sit at my computer and I use a really old music program. It's called MuseEdit, and I'll transcribe the song, or I'll transcribe parts of the song, just so it can help me, you know, get through the tune a little bit better, right? So when I sit down to play it, okay, here's my roadmap, right? So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I remember years ago, way back, years and years ago, I was in high school, and we were over at my buddy's house, and we're all learning this song, right? We're trying to learn a tune, and we had this old cassette recorder, and we're all sitting around, and we're listening, and the guitar player and the bass player kind of noodling around and jamming with the song while they're playing. And there was 2 guitar players, and they were talking about how the solo at the end of the song, you know, was supposed to do this one thing. And so the guitar player that was trying to make his point was soloing over the tape. And finally everybody said, hey, quit playing, let's hear the solo and see what he did. Well, guess what? When he quit playing his solo, there wasn't a solo there. he had played the song so much, and he thought there was a solo in this song, because when he was jamming along with it, he just started inadvertently putting in a solo, something that felt good to him, but it wasn't on the original record, right? So again, it really comes down to listening and really having big ears. You'll hear a lot of people say, you gotta have big ears, really hear what the song's doing. So really listen, understand what song form is, understand what all those things that I just said. You know, we got a 8-bar intro, and then the drums come in, it goes for another 4 bars, and then we go into the verse. Understand what all that stuff is, and really, really listen. The 3 most important things to music and good drumming are groove, time, and feel, right? And all of that is absorbed again through listening, and then hours and hours of practice on your instrument and woodshedding at your craft. So anyway, I hope that was helpful to you. I hope that you got something out of the video. And so right now I'm going to give you a big teaser for the video that I'm doing this weekend. Please watch the video that I have coming up called The Big Gig. I'm going to be filming it tomorrow. I'm not sure when it's going to go up, but I'm going to be doing an interview with a buddy of mine who is a drummer for some of the most well-known, well-respected artists in the world. The guy tours the world all the time and plays, again, with some of the biggest artists in the world. And I think it's going to be a real treat, and that's all I'm going to tell you. That's your teaser. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Have a fantastic day. It's a beautiful day outside. Go outside and enjoy it. after you are done practicing and working on your drumming craft or your guitar craft or whatever it is that you play. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.